everyone, my name is Casey Johnson, and I love video games. I've loved them my entire life. I love everything about gaming, from the sprawling open world RPGs to just the smallest, quirkiest little indie game. More than movies, more than TV, man, I just love a good video game.
But part of the reason that I love gaming is that I've always had this particular love for the wacky, the wild, and the downright weird. The stuff that makes you shake your head and ask, was Annie ever truly okay to begin with?
That brings me to the topic of this episode. Let's go back in time a little bit. 2006 was quite the year in entertainment. Google had just bought YouTube for $1.6 billion. Superman Returns was... let's not talk about that. And Burger King produced the best-selling series of games that year. Yeah, you heard me, Burger King. Let's do a case study. Burger King in 2006 was wild. This was the prime of Burger King advertising, and in my opinion, it was all due to this cute little home invader. Getting flashbacks?
In 2004, the Burger King King debuted with a king outfit and a mask. That famous mask. Face of nightmares. The mask was originally made out of a prop found on eBay that blew up balloons, but when Burger King bought it and modified it into headgear, it became an icon. An icon that certainly struck fear into kids' hearts everywhere, but in fairness, he did perform a banger about Cheetos. Whatever your thoughts, the Burger King King was a success. It took the world by storm, and Burger King wanted him on everything possible. Seriously, movies, TV shows, your nightmares, he was all over the place.
There, however, was one market they hadn't capitalized on: gaming. And with more gamers existing than ever before, and that number growing exponentially every year, it was simple. Let's make a game about the Burger King King. All they needed was a developer to make it happen.
Enter Blitz Games, everyone's favorite developer of all things Glover. Blitz Games was coming off a long, successful run of badly reviewed games, including SpongeBob, Creature from the Krusty Krab, Bad Boys, Miami Takedown, and Fairly Odd Parents Break Into Rules. By far, however, their most well-known game at that time was Fusion Frenzy, and it was because of this delightful little minigame collection that Burger King approached them about producing small games as Xbox Live Arcade exclusives. They ordered 3 games in 7 months, and though Blitz Games thought that request may have been a little steep, they said, well, have it your way. It was decided to split up concept development for the games. One game would execute Burger King's vision, one would be exclusively Blitz, and then they would do the third one together. As these games took shape, they were actually pretty proud of what they'd done. So proud, in fact, that Burger King decided to produce disc copies of these games and sell them at Burger King. Yes, with the purchase of any value meal for only $3.99 more, a real-life Xbox 360 game. And before you ask, no, this game didn't come out for PS3. Why?
Because PlayStation has good games. Oh, hey, what's this copy of Haze doing here?
The games were a good value, and they sold a lot of copies, but reviews were pretty mediocre, and people can't seem to agree on the game quality. So, it's time to figure out for ourselves. Let's pop in one of these games. Oh my god! What is this? Why is this so creepy? Is something bad gonna happen to me? Oh, it's just Sneak King. Get it? Sneak King? Get it? Why do I do this show? This one was the one that was executed purely as Burger King's vision, and you can tell. The game's pretty simple. It's a stealth horror game where the Burger King King has to sneak around and surprise people with a delicious Whopper or other menu item from Burger King. Now, why does he need to sneak? Why does he need to surprise them spectacularly? Yeah, I don't get this. These are construction workers. There's no construction site in the world that if you showed up with free Whoppers, they wouldn't, like, put you on their shoulders and give you a complimentary construction barrel for your troubles.
Also, no one in their right mind would sneak up on a construction worker. You'd end up getting hit over the head with a crowbar. And that is not having it my way. But I can forgive all that if the gameplay is good, and I'm proud to report that the gameplay is fine.
You sneak, you hide, you surprise. These people are hungry to the point of an OSHA violation, and they need Whoppers.
Yeah, this is just okay.
Sneaking is fine, but I've never been a fan of the vision cone in these stealth games being so small. Like, you can see me 6 feet away, but somehow not 8 feet away. The levels are mostly the same. This is fun for like 10 minutes, but that's it. Next, we have Big Bumpin', and due to my New Year's resolution, I am not going to make a joke about that name. This is the game that Blitz made all by themselves, and if you've ever played Fusion Frenzy, you can tell. This feels just like several of the driving-centric minigames from their 2001 hit. There were 5 basic modes and 5 basic arenas: the Broiler, the Deep, the Icebox, King's Court, and the Monsoon of Doom. First is Last Man Standing, which is the most traditional bumpin' that you will do in Big Bumpin'. You bump the other cars, lower their health bar, and try to be the... You get it. Some Last Man Standing tracks use a knock you off the platform style reminiscent of a game in like Mario Party or something, which is better, but the AI is also dumb and they just run off by themselves sometimes.
This is alright. I mean, the base game is just carts from Fusion Frenzy, so the idea is there, but the gameplay feels a little cheap and needs some gimmicks to like liven up the formula a little bit. Luckily, this is Burger King where you have it your way, so there are plenty of gimmicks to be had in the form of 4 more game types.
In Shock Ball, unload your ball of lightning by bumping other players and driving like mad in the other direction. If you're anywhere near the ball when the timer runs out, you're in for the jolt of your life. This is sort of a hot potato type of bumping, and it's alright. It spices everything up just enough to make it a little fun, and it adds a bit of a hectic tinge to it. Next is Power Surge, which I still kinda don't understand, even after playing it. Like, basically you soak up electricity and get points for dropping it off at designated stations. You're like a mail carrier, but like for a package full of electricity. If you get bumped before you deposit it, you get shocked. Yeah, no, this is pretty lame. Own the Pup is King of the Hill. You gain points for time spent in control of the pup, and all the kids rejoice. Then there's Bumpin' Hockey, or as I call it, 2006 Rocket League. Okay, so this isn't as robust or good or fun or entertaining or competitive or good or fun or not Burger King as Rocket League. But this is where I had maybe the most fun I ever had in all 3 of these games. This is great for some wacky couch co-op. The gameplay isn't half bad. It's legitimately competitive. You're playing hockey. It's hectic. I really like it.
Overall, Big Bumpin' isn't that bad of a game. It held my attention for longer than something like 1-2 Switch, and the novelty of it being the Burger King King is always going to intrigue new people. You can tell that this is the game that Blitz Games put the most of their love and their passion into and really put their stamp on.
The game, however, that they compromised with BK on is Pocket Bike Racers, and this is 2006. Let me tell you what, between the Burger King and the Pocket Bikes, I feel like I'm 10 again. It's exactly what it seems like. It's a kart racer with pocket bikes. Now, was this revolutionary at the time? Did Mario Kart Wii steal the idea of using bikes in a kart racer from Burger King 2 years later?
Probably not, considering this game is just okay. I mean, it's not terrible, it's no Madagascar carts. Get that away from me. Either way, it doesn't hit with me in 2021. I mean, the mechanics are fine, and controlling your pocket bike is only a little frustrating, but it's track designs and power-ups that bring it down for me.
There are 5 tracks: a Burger King parking lot, a neighborhood, the King's Castle, a construction site, and last but not least, the Tender Crisp Bacon Cheddar Ranch. Yes, you're correct. That is a sandwich and a track. That's actually probably the best track, too. Overall, it's really easy to run off the road, which makes playing the game a little bit of a chore.
I never felt like I was going where I was supposed to be going. Is it track? Is it not track? I never knew if I was going the right way, and I usually wasn't. I feel like they were going for like a branching paths feel here, but it just got confusing.
So you gain an item meter as you drive through these little cones. The higher the meter, the better the item you can use. I think, at least. And in general, I think items are a little bit overpowered and they can hinder the game experience a bit because of it. Personally, I like a game where good racing is rewarded, but having an item that takes control of your bike is not that, and in a kart racer, items should be part of the fun in my opinion, not a thing that you dread. Like I said, Burger King and Blitz Games compromised on this one, and to me, that kind of is what it turns out to be. It's a mishmash of ideas, and it doesn't quite work for me. I mean, I had a lot of fun in this game. It's probably the best out of the 3 games, but it feels a little bit unfinished and a little bit disjointed, and you can kind of tell that there were 2 different people trying to influence the way that this worked out. And don't get me wrong, there's fun to be had here. I had fun with all of these games, every single one of them. And shoot, for the price that we sell them for at Disc Replay, at $2, $3, they are worth every penny. And it's the kind of thing that you love to have on your shelf, because somebody's going to ask about it and you get to tell them, yeah, this is a Burger King game. It just so happens that as standalone games, they're not that great. But I do think that these games are incredibly important.
I mean, are these Game of the Year contenders? Of course not. Probably not Game of the Month. But I think bigger than the games is the impact they had on the industry.
Let's run the numbers. These games sold a combined 3.5 million copies at $3.99 apiece. That means about $14 million in pure revenue for games that probably cost a fraction of that to make at the time. If we divide that number 3.5 million by 3, then that means that each of these games were in the top 5 games sold that year, certainly in the top 10. By all accounts, these games could not be considered less than a success. And look, we are in 2021 right now. We're used to big name brands crossing over with video games. But this was a time when gaming wasn't as widely accepted and embraced as the world that we live in now. And I can't help but think that every time we get a Mountain Dew Gamer Fuel, or we see Doritos with the Call of Duty logo on them, we have, in a small way, to thank Burger King, to thank Blitz Games, and to thank Pocket Bike Racer, Big Bumpin', and Sneak. Oh my god!